We had talked about perhaps hitting the food table first, but I think at this point, logistically, we'd have difficulties doing that. So we're going to go ahead and get started because we really want to just do this for about an hour. There are sign-up sheets on your table. I know this is not a service, but the person who prepared this for me was a little confused. But if we have a subsequent Interfaith Forum, and we would like our discussions to continue after tonight, and we'd like to have one perhaps at the mosque, so that those of us of the Christian faith can learn even more about our Muslim brothers and sisters. If you're interested in that, give us your names and your email addresses, and that way we'll have a database we can send out a notice of the next meeting. With that, I think I'll begin by putting the Sheikh on the spot and perhaps ask him to tell us just a little bit basic about Islam. And something that I wondered from the get-go in this process is, what beliefs do we have in common between Christianity and Islam? So we'll start there, and then we'll be glad to open to the floor. So if you all have any questions, you can ask the Sheikh, and I'm sure he can handle anything we throw at him.
Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. This one. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Yes, my voice is low. How are you doing, everybody? We are glad and happy to be together today, and I hope we will have that meeting every once in a while. I believe we deserve, all of us, to know each other, to understand each other, to feel for each other. I'm the Imam, which is like a priest or pastor in Islamic community. I lived here in Lake Charles from 2004 till now. I'm glad I'm here in Lake Charles. I'm very happy to be in Lake Charles, to be honest with you. We're trying to open that door for dialogue, answer questions, explain a lot of things, correct many error and mistakes, put the right information in front of everyone. This is not invitation for converting or anything, no. It's just dialogue between us, talking to each other, knowing each other, because we believe God created each other in a different, as we know, in a different shape, in a different color, different language, different accent, different education, different status in life. That's in purpose. This is not accident. He created us like that. He wants us to be like that because we might know each other, learn from each other. He enriched the community with the different varieties. So this is why, the way I believe, that's why we have all these differences. Differences is not a bad thing. Actually, it's a good thing. As long as we have the healthy dialogue and we are talking to each other in a civil way, believe me, these differences, we can use it for the benefit of the mankind and to make any society very strong society. But if we use it in a wrong way and we start taking advantage on something we have nothing to do with, because I see none of us create himself, unless somebody thinks so, and nobody chose his family, nobody chose his appearance or her appearance, right? So if we didn't do that to ourselves, why we try to favor each other according to that? It doesn't make sense to me. That's why we need to start the dialogue, question and answer, to know. I know there is many things now in the news and everywhere talking about the Muslim and the Islam and the action of Islam. They put in front of us a lot of expressions. We need to know, what does that mean? Since the only people who represent the picture and the image of Islam now, it's only the terrorists. This is the news. We are sure we're going to see it every single day. But the true picture, unfortunately, no one will put it in any media or any news. You have to be smart and you have to be sincere to search, to know the truth. So, because the situation like that, I believe here in Lake Charles, I'm not talking about bigger than Lake Charles. We are living here in Lake Charles. Our community, the Muslim community, we have maybe more than 15 doctors in the hospitals. I believe most of you saw some of them in those hospitals. We have professors in McNeese. I know many of the students had seek knowledge from those professors. We have businessmen everywhere in Lake Charles, Sulphur. So we have also students, so we are not far from the community. We are part of the community. Yes, we have different faith, but it doesn't mean we are different than every person in the United States. We are honored to be in the United States. We are loyal to the land, the one we live in. This is our home and our country. We have children, we have family. Our children, they don't know any other home other than here. They speak English because they're born and raised here in the United States. When we take them to somewhere else, they go just vacation, 2-3 weeks and come back, because this is home for everybody. Since the situation like that, I would love to explain whatever you feel it's not clear in your mind, any question. There is no wrong question, there is no not smart question, there is no unanswered question. Whatever you feel, you want to know about something about Islam, I want you to say it. If I know the answer, I will say it. If I don't know, I will search for you. Thank you.
Perhaps we can start by talking about commonalities between Christianity and Islam, and then we'll get to some of these other questions.
Okay, the similarity?
Yes, similarities.
Okay. There is a basic knowledge about the Islam. If we know about it, it will clarify a lot of other part or other questions. Islam believed that the Muslim has to believe in all the prophet and messengers, the one God sent them, because we believe God is one. And He created everything, and He is the one who provides, the one who gives life, the one who takes life, the one who will stand before Him at the day of judgment. And that part is common sense between all the faith. We believe that whoever do good as a good deed in this life, he deserves the good reward at the day of judgment. And whoever did bad, that person, he deserves whatever God will give him at the judgment day. We believe that part. We believe that God, this is a part in Islam, God created the human being, Adam, and his wife, Eve, and every offspring from them. So we believe we are brother and sisters in the first father and mother, Eve and Adam. We believe also Adam and his wife Eve, they were in the heaven, and they, for some reason, disobeyed God. So God sent them to the earth. So that part also, we are agreed on it in general in most religion. We believe that Mary, the mother of Jesus, peace be upon him, she was honorable woman, and she was virgin and a great woman. Actually, we have the whole chapter, 96 verses under her name in our book, in our verses, the one we recited in the prayer, the chapter called Mary. We don't have other women, even from the Islamic perspective. We don't have Prophet Muhammad's wife's name. No, it's Mary. And it has the whole chapter, 96 verses, talking about her and honoring her and mentioning how great she was when she tolerated that test. Because when she got pregnant with no husband, everybody knows how the girl, especially she was young, how she gonna face, as people say, the music in this time. And she bring baby Jesus over her hand and facing the whole community, telling her, what did you do? So to tolerate that and to accept that and to obey God and never refuse his test, this is make her one of the greatest women in the heaven. And this is what we believe. We believe there's little small part different than Christianity. We believe Jesus, peace be upon him, he is one of the 5 greatest messengers. Why? Because we believe God, he is the creator. And else, God created it, whatever it is, human being, anything. So we believe Jesus, peace be upon him, he was a chosen person. God sent him to the mankind in his time, and he did his job. And he is alive. He is the prophet, he didn't die. Yes. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, died. Yes, we believe that. Prophet Jesus, we believe he is still alive in the heaven. Why we believe that? Because our prophet said so. He didn't deny that. He didn't say anything else. He said, no, Prophet Jesus is alive, and he's in heaven, and he will come back before the judgment day. Even our prophet mentioned almost the place where he will come, and when he will come, and even the way he comes. Jesus, peace be upon him. He will come in Bilad al-Sham, which is Syria, and it will be in the time when the false Messiah will come out and tell people, I am Jesus, or I am the Messiah, and he is a false person. So God will send, in that time, to send Jesus back to the earth. And we believe Jesus will say the truth. And in that time, every person on earth has to listen to what he says, including Muslim too, my brothers and sisters. This is what we believe about Jesus, peace be upon him. We believe in the Bible, not only in the Bible, because part of our faith to believe in God and every messenger he sent and a prophet and all the books, not only the Quran. We have to believe in the Torah, the Old Testament, and the Bible, the New Testament, and Suhuf Ibrahim, Abraham's book. He had one. Maybe not everybody knows about that part. Some of it exists in some museum, but still. David, we believe in Islam, David and his son Sulaiman, they were a prophet, and God gave them a book. The one David was reciting it day and night. It's called Zabur, and that book also, it's just praising God. So we believe in all of those books. We believe that God, the one who sent them, we believe in all those prophets and messengers without differences. We love them, we respect them, we honor them. And even if someone disrespect any prophet or any messenger, other than the prophet, Muhammad, peace be upon him, you will see the whole Muslim get upset, and you can say angry, as they were upset and angry when somebody make fun of Prophet Muhammad, because we believe in all of them. So if tomorrow somebody made something foolish thing, because this is not freedom. Freedom, say your opinion, let me listen to you and I will talk to you. But when you make fun of something like, why? What's the point? So, if somebody said something bad about Jesus tomorrow, you will see the whole Muslim get upset the same way as they got upset when somebody say anything about their Prophet Muhammad. So we believe in the books, we believe in the Prophet and messengers, we believe in the judgment day, we believe Adam, our father, was in heaven and God sent him to the earth. We believe about judgment day, we believe about the good and the bad, and there is a scale before the judgment day. And if the person get oppressed in this life and nobody supported that person, and that person couldn't take his right, we believe there is another chance, and it's a big chance before God. He gave him what he deserved, and he will establish justice in this moment. Common thing between the Muslim and non-Muslim, both of us, we believe we can live together, at least people in Lake Charles. Because I know some people, they don't believe in that part. But from my viewpoint, the Islam has no problem whatsoever to live with anyone, actually, to live with the people of the book. What the people of the book? Christian and Jews, because Christian and Jews, the closest people to the book of God, Al-Quran. And what about the other people? If a person, he worships nothing, or he doesn't believe anything, he's welcome to live in this land. There is a law, goes over everybody. Because of that, we can live together, we have no problem, and we can live in peace. Can you believe the other people worship God? Muslims feel this is not the true God? Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Why I can? Because God told me in the Quran. You stop me, because I can't keep going till tomorrow. So as soon as you feel that's
We have a question from the floor. Tell us about your Islamic education and what made you a Sheikh.
Yes. Word Sheikh, yeah, but to be honest, I'm not here today to talk about myself. But anyways, Sheikh, it's a word as imam, or respectful word between the one who has knowledge amongst people. God didn't ask everybody to be scholar because it's not easy for everybody. So the one who will work in that field and read more details and will put his life, all of it, for that purpose, we called him Sheikh or Imam or Mufti or some other word that's similar to that. You have to know your book, the Quran. And to know your book means, if you ask me now about almost 700 pages, you ask me about any verse in it, I have to recite it from my heart. This is the first step. And we do that. Yes. Because we got the Quran that way. God sent it to the Prophet. Prophet taught the Quran to some people, and some people give it to others. So my Sheikh, the one who taught me, he has other Sheikh. When you go, it's still written in the book. When you go from my name, you tell the Prophet, peace be upon him. So no cutting in that for 14th century. So the one who teach me, he has to make sure he taught me the Quran as God sent it. No dot more, no dot less. And this is something special in the Islam. When I know that, I start studying from the scholars about the basic of the Islam. And the basic of the Islam, it doesn't make me scholar, it makes me a person who cares about his faith, as a person who take his faith seriously. Because everybody has to do that. Then, if I feel I have opportunity to learn more and to be more knowledgeable, in that time I will study the religion step by step. I finished my first degree in the law, Islamic law and criminal law, and I finished my first master degree in the international law. Then my other master degree in the Islamic school, it's from Al-Azhar. This is one of the biggest college in Cairo, in Egypt. did my PhD from here, American University in Virginia, in the Islamic Sharia. I know this word, it's scaring me too. But we need to know, because this is the problem. I'm telling you, this is a car. So I'm the only one who said this is a car, and no one else said no, it's a bottle of water. So this is what's happening now. The only one who say the Islam, those people, the one who put themselves as ISIS or Qaeda or Taliban or whatever. This is the only people who show what the Islam is. But believe me, we don't know that Islam. I'm terrified like you from that Islam. When you reach that kind of knowledge, also, when I seek knowledge when I'm young, I will be known with my friend, which is the student, everywhere. And then when I become a person who can start teaching, my teacher, they will present me as a teacher who can teach some in that. So I will be known as a person sub of teacher or something like that. When I become Sheikh, everybody around me will know this is the Sheikh. We know him 25 years back. But if you find there is a man, he become today as a scholar or Sheikh, nobody knows who's that person. That person has nothing to do with the knowledge, which is that names the one you see it in a lot of media and stuff. So this is making Sheikh.
Okay, in describing what you believe, are you speaking from the perspective of a Sunni or Shia Islam? And is there a difference with respect to these core tenets?
Good. This is a good question, but I love for the one who wanna write a story or write a big speech to start with alphabetic first, because Shia and the Sunni, if I tell you the difference between Shia and the Sunni, this and that, how about if I tell you what the Islam is first? Is that better or not? Better to know that the real Islam. So when I tell you that person believes in this and this and this and this, you will know what I'm talking about. Because it's very hard to tell you about something in the 10th floor and you don't know even the foundation of the thing. But anyways, I will say, Sunni or Shia is what? Islam came to the Prophet as we believe. And he taught people, which is the source of the Islam. The source of the Islam. From who I'm taking Islam? From people's action? From what people love? From what people want? No. From what God said, revealing literally in a Quran, or revealing with the meaning and the word from the Prophet, which is, we called it Sunnah. This is where Sunni came from. So our source in our faith from those. What about scholars? Everybody has respect. Everybody has noble place. But no one can be equal to God. We take from people and we discuss it. Whatever I tell you, you can take it or put it in the trash. But the only one we take his word and respect it is God, or what God said to his prophet, peace be upon him. But other than that, we respect scholars, we love scholars, we take care of them, we accept their word, as long as it comes inside that road, the road of what God said and what the prophet said. After a while, there's a person, and people, they were living that way for a while. 45 years after the prophet passed away, a person from Yemen, that person, he used to be a Jew, and he said he become Muslim. And then that person start inviting people to believe in one particular companion he was with the prophet. One of his cousin. It's not only cousin, prophet, he has many cousins. He loved that one too, and we Sunni, we respect him, we love him. He's the 4th president. You can say caliph or president, same thing. Anyways, so he started saying something about him. He said, oh, he is a prophet, about that particular person. That companion said, no, I don't want to hear anyone say that. This is lying. The prophet was Prophet Muhammad, and he passed away. And even that companion start putting consequences for whoever will say something like that, that it will take the nation away from the right source. So after that, that person, his name was Abdullah ibn Saba from Yemen, he started escalating his situation and took some of the ignorant Muslim with him with no knowledge, and he took them away from the source of knowledge, which is Mecca and Medina, you know, those two cities, and they start making the story of a Shia. A Shia, I believe, personally, the leader of them, they are in a very dangerous situation. Why? Because whatever they say against what God said and what the Prophet said, and any person, he say that, I have to tell him, I'm sorry, I respect you, I love you, but you're wrong. This is not right. But the general population from the Shia, they are like the population of Sunni, like the population of Christian. If I ask any Christian now, question about his book or her book, they gonna answer me very well? No, right? Because what we know is, you know, so everybody like that. So a Shia, the leader of them, they have to think again about their source of knowledge, and the population, they also, many of them ignorant, just following like that. So this is the Sunnah or the Shia. You don't have to call yourself Sunni or Shia. Call yourself, I'm a Muslim. What does that mean? Muslim, I'm following what God said in His book and what His Prophet said in an authentic word. That's it. I don't have to call myself anything. So it's like every other religion. Why? We know that Judaism, they have many groups. Christianity, they have many groups. Do you have to tell me? You don't have to, I'm Christian. Right? So this is the same.
Is it true that the Muslim faith believes that virtuous and righteous Christians and Jews can go to heaven?
Okay. Now, to go to, there's two situations. Situation in our life and situation after death. The one is after death. No Muslim, no Christian, no Jew saw it by his eyes. And no one can decide anything if it's in Allah's knowledge and we don't have access for that. I cannot stand for a person, he's dead, Muslim dead, I said he is going to heaven. Ask any Muslim, even the children. Can you tell about any person, yes, for sure he's going to heaven? I cannot say that. Nobody can tell. You have to be in that place. I hope the righteous people, they will be in heaven. This is what I hope. But this life, nobody saw it. Nobody knows what will happen. We heard about it, we read about it. But for sure, you see something like that, this number one. Number two, that question to be in a right way, you should ask me, do you have in Islam anything saying that other than the Muslim, he will enter the hellfire? How about that? It's better question, and a straight question to the point. I'm telling you now, if a person knows very well and study the Islam as I did, because I study Islam, I study Judaism and Christianity, and I know in three of them I think so. Now, if you study Islam as I studied, you understand every single word in that Quran because it's not your language, and you have the right translation, and you have right understanding. I can bring you translation for the Quran, 100 of them. I can give you explanation of Islam from a lot of sources. If you understand the right Islam, not the one you see in a TV, the right Islam, and you know it very well, and you have no doubt in your heart And with that you say, no, I don't want it. This is the situation. This is different situation. But if a person heard about Islam as ISIS action, or Islam is killing people, or Islam is fighting your neighbor, or respect women, or this and this and this. This is what he heard about Islam. This is what he know about Islam. It's not fair for me to judge that person and say, oh, he refused. No, he didn't refuse. He got the wrong information about Islam. That person, I believe, God will treat him at the judgment day different than the person like he knows, he saw the Prophet, he talked to the Prophet, he knows everything, and then he refused. No, there's a big difference. So, the point is, in my life, you can ask me about life. In this life, I believe I'm in the right way. And everybody here feel the right way, right? If you are not feeling I'm a Christian, I'm in the right way. So I'm asking you why you still following it. If the Jews tell me, no, I don't think I'm in the right way. So I'm asking why you are not following. Everybody believe I'm in the right way. And this is not wrong. So in this life, can we live together? Yes. Can we be in the same place? Yes. Can you leave me to worship wherever? Yes. Can we love each other, help each other, take care of each other? Yes. In the hereafter, I told you, this is in God's hand. None of us, and whoever dare to say, oh, that person will be in heaven, or that person, I'll give him 70 virgin in heaven, because I'm talking about the both sides. Or that person he will have 2 rooms, 25 square feet in the heaven. Nobody knows that, and nobody has a right to talk about that. In this life, can you believe in something, I believe in something else, we still can live in harmony and a good community and help each other, love each other, take care of each other? Yes. In Islam, yes, I have 100 of proof from the Quran, from the Sunnah of Prophet, and from the story and the history. It's not 1 or 200.
I've gotten some more questions. Now they're getting tough. Ready for the tough ones?
Yes.
Have members of the Muslim community in Lake Charles felt unsafe or experienced discrimination since Donald Trump was elected President of the United States?
We believe the United States is not any other country. It's a country built on a system, and we believe the system will work in the end of the day. And no one, yes, sometimes some mistake here, there, but we believe it's not a place one person rule it. No. Do you believe something like that? Maybe in some other places, but not here. Here there is a system. There is a lot of people you can say no for something wrong. So I don't have any fear. I don't have anything. I live in my country. I live in my home. Whatever will happen to me, me. That's fine. So this is what we believe. Something bad to happen after the election? No, there is a lot of things happen before the election. Yeah. But we work with that, and Mr. Randy was one of the biggest help in this situation, and everything was just the law. People, they throw stuff on you and break a bottle of beer in you and shoot at your door and stuff like that. Yeah. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna bring them and talk. Why you wanna shoot at me? I'll kill my son. He's 5 years old. Or what did he do to you? So this day, I'm sorry. I was wrong. I was angry. I was just so finished Fox News and so this is the thing. This is the thing. We are not. Listen. We are part. We are part. We are like, at least in nature, like a one body. I cannot hit my hand or cut my legs. No. We are brothers and sisters. In the human being, we believe in God. We believe in a good deed. We believe for helping for each other. What else we need? You go to church, I go to mosque, somebody stay home, just watch football. It's between him and God. God never put us between Him and His creatures. No, I don't believe He did that. Every person between Him and God. And this is the freedom of religion. I hope we're gonna get it after the election.
Does Islam support ISIS, and do you think ISIS will go to heaven or hellfire?
That's a good question too. But that's fine. Believe me, I told you, there is nothing called wrong question. Because if anyone asks me that question, I will tell you the question and answer it, because I know that the important information we need to talk about it. Because this is one of the important, you have to know who's your neighbor and what those crazy people feel about anything. So is that okay to be their neighbor, or they gonna do something like ISIS one day? No, you have to know. The worst enemy for the Islam was ISIS. Islam never got hit in the heart like when ISIS started. This is, I'm telling you, Islam fought back in a lot of battles. But this is the only battle the Muslim is still losing and losing and losing in it. They get confused. ISIS, they have a lot of money. A lot of money. Maybe you know one of the source in English, but I know the other source in Arabic, so I can watch both. They have millions of dollars. Somebody, I don't know who's that somebody, but I heard there's somebody gave them $1,800,000,000 one time. And they called that number. And they called the person and they asked him, he said, I thought they are not terrorists. So if you ask me, I'll tell him the terrorists, don't give them that money. And many stuff like that. Whatever people know, less than what we don't know. Anyways, they have money, they spend it on the media. On the media. Countries, they don't have that money to spend it in the media to encourage the little, the young guys, Muslim, naive, to join them. They have song, they trying with everything possible to encourage them. And you know the situation in the Middle East now, guys, they want to just leave to even to the moon. So sometimes they open for them a gate for a good life, believe it or not. So, and they spend money on them. So they hit the Islam in a way, even the Muslims, we don't know yet how to defeat that. The question is that represent Islam? No, my brothers and sisters, no. It's never represent Islam. Actually, those people, they trying to erase the true image of Islam from everybody. If you notice, before September 11, yes, there is government and system every day they have animosity and fight. I don't care about all of that. I care about people, right? The 300 billion, and this is the one I care about. But politics, I'm not good with it. I don't want to be close to it. So they fight. But after September 11, millions of people, they start hating Islam, hating Muslims, feel fear from the Islam and Muslims. This wasn't before September 11. So I'm asking myself, which Muslim, the one he want to make millions of non-Muslim to be enemy to the Muslim? Who's that person? Do you think this is a guy who believe in God, who believe in Islam? I don't think so. This is something, that's why we have doubt. It's increasing day after day. Those people, they have nothing to do with Islam. Because of that, I want to tell you something. In 2014, there is 126 scholars, Muslim scholars, from everywhere in the world. It's not from one country, it's not one scholar. 126 famous scholars. I'll tell you from where. From Egypt, Syria, Palestine, Iraq, Jordan, Saudi, Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, British, France, Germany, Tajikistan, even, Russia, United States, Lebanon, Italy, Nigeria, Portugal, Bosnia, Yemen, Chad, Tunisia, Morocco, Algeria, China, We have a lot of good stuff from China too. Sudan, Emirates, Holland, Malaysia, Argentina, Canada, Indonesia, Mauritania, Belgium, Bulgaria, Turkey. This country, they gave us some of their famous scholars. And I was one of them too. It was honor for me. We wrote 32 pages to answer back those people. They doing a lot of things. ISIS, they kill, they burn, they attack innocent, they kill civilian, they do all of these things. So we put it in a one point. Is that possible and permissible from our faith? Because we are not also working in a construction. This is our field. So we put what God said, what the Prophet said from the Islam, and we answered them for 23 pages. And we told them, what you do, it has nothing to do with Islam. You are the enemy of the Islam. And we send it as an open dialogue. It's here. And we told them, if you want, we can meet in somewhere, not in Iraq, of course, and somebody can, monitor our dialogue between you and us. What you're doing, it has nothing to do with Islam. You are the enemy of the Islam. And we waited and waited for the answer, and the answer came 125, including me, 126. They put our head in the wanting list, and they put also what they call prize or whatever, like the FBI thing, but it's Daesh thing, ISIS thing, that 126 scholar in the blacklist for whoever can kill them. There is a reward and also a place in heaven too. We didn't forget that. This is ISIS. This is how ISIS talked to the people who told them, no, what you're doing is wrong. What you're doing against Islam. What you're doing, it has nothing to do with what God said and what the Prophet said. And the answer is very clear. Those people, they never represented Islam. Last part I want to say about the American, Muslim American. I would say 99.9% against ISIS. I don't want to say 100% just in case. So those people, I'll tell you something. Before September 11, how many times those Muslim Americans did something to anyone or did any terrorist thing? I don't remember. I don't think there's something happened before September 11. The question is, why those people? They didn't do anything from a long time till some people came outside of the United States and did that problem. Why? Why? Because simple, we don't believe in that. We believe as a Muslim, especially we know the basics of the Islam. The basic of Islam said what? If you come to people and you enter their home and they allow you to be with them and they promise you will be safe and everything you have, money or wealth, your soul, your religion, all of it, it will be safe and we will protect you. This is the meaning, my brother and sister, when you come to the immigration, when they put that stamp, the stamp saying all of that. Maybe you don't realize it, but we do. Because we understand the meaning to be in that environment. So if you give me all of that, when I step in, do you think we don't have at least manner to pay the same thing back to people who live with us? I don't think so. That's why the Muslim in the United States, the American Muslim, they are against the terrorism 100%. And they will never be part of these plots or anything like that. And if you read in CNN, they wrote many times statistics about how much the Muslim community helped against the terrorism attack. They found that the Muslim helped more than the work in the agency itself. This is a CNN answer.
Okay, we're going to get off of ISIS for a minute. similarities between Christianity and Islam. Did both religions use religion to justify African enslavement? Well, I can speak on the Christianity part. I know that Christians used religion, and I know that they were very wrong for doing that. And it was a harm to people that we still need to apologize for and hope to help heal. How about Islam?
There's always, we say, there is a faith, the religion, and the people's action. This is a big difference. Otherwise, some people will say, hey, why you say that? Because can you count Hitler when he killed whoever killed the civilian as a Christian work, as a Christian action? No. See, this is what I meant. Crusade. You consider it's God's war or Christian war. There is people's mistake in every faith. So, why I'm saying that? Because slavery exists from even before Christianity and before Islam and before all the religions. It was part of the society. I'm not saying it's right. No, I'm telling you part of the history about it. So the religions came and find that situation exists. So Al-Islam, as far as I know, the only faith start 14th century ago. Islam didn't say, free everybody. No, Islam didn't say that. I cannot even claim that. But I can say, Quran said, if you have a slave and you want God to free you from the hellfire, free the person. If you have two slaves and you take care of them and you raise them good and you take care of their education and you give money to marry and to start their life, that's considered enough in your life good deed. If you hate a slave, the only thing you can do to ask forgiveness to free that person. If you mention God's name and you broke this word, then you have to do some do's. The first thing you do to free a person. If you break your fasting during Ramadan, month of Ramadan, the fasting month, the first thing you do, free one of the slave. There is kind of divorce also. If the person divorced and he and his wife decide to come back, first thing he has to free one of the slave. This is what I remember that. So as you see, open million door to free the slaves. Also, if your slave decide to work, he has some experience to work in anything, and he told you, hey, I will pay you what the money you pay for me. Okay, in this thing in Islam, you have no choice. You have to take whatever he can work with and give it to you and free himself. Many things. But in the end of the day, Al-Islam forbade to enslave a free man. Islam said, if you enslave a free person and you called him your slave, you know you have curse from God for doing something like that. Slavery wasn't something important in Islam or something we rushed to have it. It was exist, but Islam trying to get out of it step by step. When the whole world decided there is no slavery, the Muslim Khalifa or Muslim president, they were from the first people who signed that. But I'm saying something. How about after people did decide that and they wrote, so now there is no slavery in Islam or any other faith. At least in Islam we don't believe it. Because it's happened to find that. So we're trying to get out of it and to let people live free as God created them free. So now we cannot be any part of slavery whatsoever. If somebody start kidnapping people and said, yeah, these are my slaves, and I'm gonna sell them and make them title and stuff. And he is a Christian. Can I say Christianity want slavery back? If one of those crazy people from ISIS did that, I would say that Islam said that, no, it's not fair. So this is people's action. And not me, every person in the world has brain against all of those things. What happened in the slavery, it was a mistake, and it was wrong. And we ask God to forgive whoever did that, to be honest. And I believe if any person face discrimination, face problem or hardship in the life, and he or she does not get his right, don't worry. There is a day of judgment. In that day you will get everything you want. Last thing about that, my last name, the one Miss Nanny, she doesn't know how to say it good, ElMamlouk. You know what ElMamlouk means? Anyone knows that? It's called the slave. Because my root of my family, they were a slave. So, I'm not feeling bad about myself, but this is not for a long time. This is our name. You can Google it. We are the family, big family called Mamluk, which is the slaves, the one who used to rule Egypt till a few hundred years back. So this is also kind of slavery, but slavery for army only, to be a soldier. And when you have no family, when you have no parents, when you have nothing to feel love to come back to it, you will be a very bad soldier. So this is the way they used to raise this family. And even they prevented us from getting in the army for the generation before my father. So whoever feel bad for himself because of slavery, I'm a person who was a slave, but I don't care. This is what happened. We don't need any problem with that, right? I'm free, you are free, that's enough.
We are at 7 o'clock, but we have more questions. Do you all want to keep going for a little while? We do have a lot of food. We do. Well, let's ask a few more questions, and then we'll break. And the mosque has supplied us with so much food. I'll encourage you at the end to stay and just visit with each other, get to know each other, and partake of their hospitality, because there's enough to feed an army back there. So let's just ask a few more questions. We're obviously not going to get to all of these, but I'm finding it very interesting. I hope you all are too. Okay, we're going to time you on this one.
Okay.
Please tell us more about Sharia law. He can go for years on this, so we got to limit him.
I will say something. Any group of people, they live in a society, they have to have rules and they have to have law. Every place in the whole world, they have law. And Islam, also it has law. Word Sharia law means the paragraph talking about how to deal with the economy, how to deal with the marriage, how to deal with the divorce, with the custody, with the child support, with your business, with your neighbors, and all of these part, then one small part, which is the criminal law. You cannot point to me any society to say, okay, this is our law. Whoever kills somebody, we will feel bad about that. And that's it. Nobody say that, right? No, you have to put consequences for the one who do something wrong. Islam the same way. It's maybe 1 or 2% of the Sharia law. I know this is the first thing come to people's mind. Oh, people they're gonna be killed. People they're gonna be tortured. No. Sharia law, it will give every person live under it the way to live with the dignity and respect. Muslim and non-Muslim, they have the same right and the same duty. Don't tell me today, but look, I'm looking, there is nothing I can see today representing Islam. This is something they made it like Islam. This is not. Ask me about Islam, I will show you what the Islam said. The Muslim, the Christians, the Jews, the one who worship the fire, any person, the one he worship Buddha, all of them, before the law, there is equality. And they have the right and they have the duty to do it. Except, listen to this word, very important. Except what in Islam favor the non-Muslim over the Muslim in the society. What? And Islam favor the yes, yes. Why? Because God commanded us to be extra nice with the people who doesn't believe in us. Don't let them feel anything less than what they have to. I give you one example for that. You know, and this is also important to know about it. There is a word, it's called, maybe you heard it, jizya. Jizya, what the jizya? Oh, this is what the non-Muslim pay when they live in a Muslim country, right? Yes. Now, let me tell you what the Islam said about that. Islam said, every person live in a society. Remember, Islam put that 14th century ago, before nobody knows what the system is. So, he said, if you live in a society and you have somebody to work as a governor for that place, you have to give them money, income, so they can pave the road, they can build a hospital, they can make school, they can pay for the police and the court, so they can give you a service, right? And we do that till now. So one of those sources of the money the government will take, it's a tax. Listen very well, because what I'm telling you, this is the truth in our book. Come to my office, I will show you every evidence. By the way, our book is not written today. It's written 14th century ago. So this is very important. The book I have, the root or I forgot the word. The first book was written. It's in one of the museum. So it's nothing new. We didn't make something new. All of that 14th century back. Now, the tax. The Muslim in the Muslim community, he has to pay zakat 2.5 from every 3,400 saving. If you have 3,400 saving for 12 months, you pay 2.5 every year. Every month of Ramadan, which is every year, you have to pay charity for yourself and the whole household, everybody in your house. During the year, the 12 months, you have to pay charity for whatever income you have and you want to give for the government. Also, the government, it has to take all of that because they are the one who will use it for the service of people. 3 of them. Number 4, and this is very important, if the government want to do something and they don't have enough money, like to build a school in some place, or to build a hospital, or to pave road, or to put money on water, anything like that, and they don't have enough income, they can ask only the rich Muslim and the rich businessman from the Muslim part to put some money for that purpose. This is what the Muslim will pay in the Muslim under the Muslim system. What the non-Muslim will pay. Now, the non-Muslim, he will pay tax, which is called the jizya, and it's free to change it. If you say tax, tax. He will pay tax. Everybody, no. Women, children, elder people, middle class, they don't have extra money, they are exempt from the tax. And the only one he will pay, the one is the businessman and he is rich, he pay it once a year between 10 gram of gold to 20 gram of gold according to his income, once a year. And all the women, if she rich, she will not pay. The elder people, the children, and even the one who has enough money, he doesn't have a lot. Now, if the non-Muslim paid that, he will have the same right like a Muslim to use every single service without any discrimination. Moreover, if any attack came to this soil, the one Muslim and non-Muslim live in it, the Islamic government cannot force the non-Muslim to join the army because he doesn't believe in that. So we'll tell him, because of the money you paid, we have to defend you and take care of you. But the Muslim has to join the army and to stand against the war. If non-Muslims say, hey, I live here, my father, my grandfather, I feel I'm part from here, I want to join the army, it's fine. And in that time, they will not take penny from that person as a tax or jizya, since he wants to join the army and defend his home like anyone else, and he will have the same thing. How about if the government said everybody, Muslim or non-Muslim, this is the tax? That's what's happening here or not? Yes, right? If they said everybody, if this is your income, you will pay that much tax, and the Muslim and non-Muslim pay that, in this time nobody will talk about jizya or anything else. But if the non-Muslim refuse it, it's their right. Why? Because if you are equal to the Muslim, you're going to pay a lot. But if the Islam treating you nicely, you will pay less than that. A lot. You're going to make a lot of money. And it's up to you. So this is, I forgot the question, but this is the way. This is the way between this is the Sharia. Don't look at what people do in any place in the whole world. I don't believe somebody nowadays present Islam. No. But if someone presents the true Islam, I'm telling you, we will have no war. We will have no problem. We will have no bad time. We will have a good time. We will start putting that money towards the children, towards the education, towards the health plan, towards a lot of good things. There's a lot of good things we can do instead to make bomb those countries. There's a lot of good things we can do. I believe if somebody just presented Islam as it was.
We need Sharia law.
Let's do one more question. There are many questions we're not going to get to, which may mean we need to do this again. So, are men and women equal in Islam?
Okay. This is also a very important question. Is the man and woman equal in Christianity? Now, my question again, is the man and woman in the eye of Christianity, in the part of Christianity, are equal or not?
Yes.
Okay. When you say are equal, what do you mean are equal? In every single thing or some difference between them? Huh? See, all of us, we will have different opinion. You see that? Now, let us talk about the thing. Now, let us talk about every category. Women and men are equal in God's eye in Islam? Yes, because He said in the Quran many verses. I brought you also translation. All these books is free. You can take it, read about Quran. And I left my email and my card, my business card. Call me anytime before 11 o'clock at night. And we can discuss whatever you want. Talk about whatever you want. In the God's eye, yes, they are equal. The woman, it's similar to the man. No, there's some difference. Of course, some differences. Everybody knows about that. The woman, she can tolerate the pain more than the man. This is science, right? If if the man can face the time for giving birth, I'm telling you, you will see no man on earth. Nobody can tolerate it. This is my word. God created her to tolerate that. She's strong enough to tolerate that, right? And man, God created him to work hard and make money and to struggle the whole day. And He gave her patience to take care of the babies and to raise them and do a lot of stuff and maybe change the diaper in the middle of her dinner. But for the man, cannot do that. So there is some differences. But between in God's eyes are equal? Yes. In a good deed? Yes. In a bad deed? Yes. Is God asking a woman to do the same thing like a man? No. God favored the woman over the man in Islam. Why? Because He is the one who created her. He knows her body in general. You cannot say every woman stronger than every man. No. Most of the men stronger than most of the women. But we will find a woman stronger than a man. But the rule is God created her in that way. So since that, there is a time, Islam said you can take relief from fasting. You can take relief from praying. You don't have to fight if you don't have to join the army. You don't have to work outside to feed your kids. The man, the father of those kids, he has to do that from A to Z. And this is true for the sisters. In Islam, you don't have to do it. If you're willing to help him, thank you so much. You are a great wife. But if you said, no, I don't think I want to work, he has to pay everything, not half and half, from A to Z. This is his work. And this is his job by the Islamic law. This is the Sharia law. And if you want to work and to have your own money, yes. And nobody can force you in Islam to pay a penny to help in the house. No, this is your money. You can't even, if you want to burn it, burn it. So nobody can take it. Islam, yes, this is Sharia law. If the woman want to go to school and study and have education, she has the full right like a boy. Actually, she has more than the boy, because she might need to work. That if she is 30 or 40 years old and she has children and her husband dies or they got divorced or something happened, she will start thinking, what I'm going to do while I'm 45 years old? No, she is an engineer, she's a doctor, she's a lawyer, she is ready to do something for her family. But if she doesn't want, nobody can force her. No one. She is equal in the right. Yes, she can be a teacher, she can be a doctor, she can be a pharmacist, she can be a judge, she can be everything. She can be a leader, yes. She can be a president or khalifa, yes. Now, it's not who you are, it's the qualification. What the qualification say? You want to be a doctor? Okay. You have to study that kind of knowledge for that certain years. And this is one of the qualifications. Number two, you have to be trustworthy, not a bad person with a criminal issue. If you have those two, you are in that job. It doesn't matter who you are, your gender, your color, your faith, your belief, all of that is out. One of the famous Khalifa, our president, he has the personal doctor, personal physician was a Jew. In some times, the one who took care of the system and curriculum for all the school in the Muslim nation was a Christian. His name is Hannah, from, I don't know from where. It doesn't matter who you are. But the woman has to pray in the mosque. It's not must to her. If she want to come, thank you. If she doesn't want, that's fine. This is the way Islam take care of the woman. But it doesn't mean Islam look down. When she works, she will take less than what the men take. No, it's not in Islam something like that. When she has a job, if I have a man, and the woman, and because they are almost equal in the qualification and the manners. But I will favor the man. This is discrimination. It's not supposed to be in Islam or any society. This is the way. Don't tell me, but we heard some people hurt a woman or beat woman, or I heard people they ate women, right? They cook them and eat them. So it doesn't mean this is what the religion say. This is crazy people. That's all. You know? So let us always put God's word away from us, because us, you know us.
Well, again, I think this is all we have time for tonight. I think this is a beginning of a dialogue that can only strengthen our community. I'm glad you all came, and take time to go get some food, talk, visit with each other, get to know each other, and it can only benefit us in Lake Charles. Yes.
First of all, I want to thank both Pastor Cagney and the Imam. Let's give them a round of applause for doing that. I want to thank you both for hosting this event tonight. And I want to thank all of you for coming out. I appreciate you being here. And I could not let the evening end without me just saying just a couple of things. And I will say this, as I was looking around the room, and I'm saying some of the children that are in here, I think it would be appropriate for all of us to think of them, okay, to think of them, and think about the world that they are going to eventually become a part of in a very responsible and a very adult way. And I think it would be incumbent upon us to make sure that they have a community where there is respect for one another, and there is safety, and there is fellowship, and there is friendship. And I think it is very important that we continue to meet and gather and look at each other and respect one another. Respect one another. Regardless of what we may think about one thing or another thing, it is not what we are talking about. We're talking about respect. Respect for each other. Respect for the dignity of each other as human beings. So thank you for being here, and good evening.